built on broken dreams, but Nora's here to tear it apart at the seams. Raised in the code, found truth on the screen. Therapy sessions where the pain's unseen. Healing from the past with stories that sting. Oh no more, live that freedom ring.
We are live! Guys, I keep redoing my intro. I'm just going to keep doing it different every single time, I think. No, I think that's it now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hello again, everybody. Third time's the charm today. I want to publicly apologize for putting my personal texts on the screen earlier. That is unacceptable and rude. And yeah, that video is on private right now while that gets edited. Yeah, we'll see. Can you put the, yeah. Is that a pakaja for me? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Much excited. Just put the rest on the table upstairs. Oh, guys, this is a package I was actually waiting for. So thank you for the mail call, bud. Love you. All right. See you later. Okay. It's a tiny package, but let's see what's in here. Let's see what's in here. Charlie wants to know. Charlie's dying to know. I know what it is. It's not a surprise. So a while back, as maybe you guys noticed, maybe you didn't notice, I used to wear a bracelet on this wrist that was a river rock mala from a Dharma shop. From these guys, from the Dharma shop. They work with Nepalese artisans. They're in Michigan. And I just got another one because the string on mine broke and all of the things are everywhere. So I was going to have somebody fix it, but I decided I'm just going to get another one. See, they start out very matte, and then as you wear it, they become shinier over the years. So hopefully this one lasts. And yeah, boom, got my mala back. Comes in a fun little. This is not sponsored. Comes in a fun little bag. It's like a what's that called? What's that material? I don't remember. But yeah, it's a double. Thank you guys. It's a double wrap mala, and it has the correct amount of beads, and so you can count your chanting if you do that sort of thing. So, my wrists feel right now. I need that other weight on the other side. Oh, it's silly, and I'm silly. I know that. Okay, guys. So, trigger warning for today, kids. Today we are still talking about Narconon, but today is going to be a very dark day. So I'm sitting down because this is, I felt like I needed to sit for this one. Yeah, this is going to be, we're going to dive into Narconon deaths here. So if that is a topic of which brings you no joy, and no, I am not dazed but not confused. I don't know who that is. R.I.P. to Doug. Absolutely. No. There's someone who is using that handle. I don't know who that is. That is definitely not me though. Yeah. I don't know. Someone is using that handle. Yeah, I don't know. Do I have the address? Yes. So if you go to here, guys, I'll give you the QR code. If you scan that QR code, you can get 20% off, apparently. But it is Dharma Shop, DHARMA shop, and then .com. If you go there, you can get all kinds of really cool stuff. They have prayer flags. They have beads, all kinds of different malas, which are fantastic. Yeah, I don't know who's using his account right now. So, but somebody left me a comment, Maybe it's dazed but still confused. I don't know, but that was I thought for what I thought is, Doug leaving a comment from the great beyond. That was strange. Yeah. So there you go, Aubrey. So let's dive into it, guys. Let's get into this. So here we go. This is Narconon's site, of course. There's their phone number. Now, we're just going to dive in. I've got several articles up here, as you can see. So we're going to dive into these articles. Okay. First article here is all the way back from 2013, April 4th, 2013, by Anna Schechter. Okay. This is from NBC News, was covering this in 2013. Scientology link rehab Narconon under fire from two former executives. This is Eric Tenorio and, of course, Luke Catton. In the wake of a Rock Center with Brian Williams' report on 3 deaths at a Scientology-linked drug treatment center in Oklahoma, the former president of the facility and a former executive at Narconon facility in Michigan have come forward to expose what they call deceitful marketing techniques and underqualified staff. Narconon preys on vulnerable people. That's part of the sales techniques, says Luke, who stepped down as president of Narconon's Arrowhead facility in Oklahoma in 2004. An interview to be broadcast Friday, April 5th on Rock Center, Catton and his former colleague Eric Tenorio alleged that Narconon advertises a bogus success rate of 75% to lure in desperate families of addicts and hires recent graduates to be counselors without any traditional drug treatment training. That is all correct. Tenorio, the former executive director of Narconon's Freedom Center in Michigan, showed Rock Center official-looking certificates he received as a certified alcohol and drug counselor. He said he purchased them for himself and his staff for several $1,000s from an organization called the PETA Group, which was created by Kent McGregor, a contractor for Narconon Arrowhead's facility located in Canadian Oklahoma. No course, no tests, no oversight, Tenorio said. It's absolutely fraud. McGregor denied Tenorio's assertions and said that the PETA Group requires 20 hours of training and 2 years experience to obtain a CADC certificate. Tenorio says he believes the deaths in Narconon Arrowhead could have been prevented if qualified addiction counselors has been on staff. Beyond the teachings of L. Ron, he said staff members do not receive instruction on how to treat people addicted to drugs or alcohol. Part of what I have to do to right the wrong is just be honest about it. If it gets me in trouble, that's the risk I'm willing to take. Any quote unquote punishment that may come of it is better than someone dying. Both Tenorio and Catton described Narconon's methods of treatment as pseudoscience. Narconon promotes itself as a non-medical rehabilitation program. Its methods include 5 hours a day in a sauna for 30 straight days and mega doses of the vitamin niacin. Narconon's patients are called students. They're not patients, they are students, guys. And they study a series of 8 books based on the writings of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard, part of a larger life skills program that Narconon has said helped tens of thousands of people around the world lead drug-free lives. The 3 to 6 month program costs $30,000 per patient, which is comparable to other addiction treatment programs. Both Catton and Tenorio first arrived at Narconon in Oklahoma as patients in their early 20s, Tenorio in 1996 and Catton in 1998. They said at the time and for years after they thought the program helped them, though they now say it was more of a change of geography than Hubbard's teaching that helped them get sober. Another striking similarity in their experiences, both men became Scientologists while at Narconon. I dedicated all my time, life, money, everything was dedicated toward the purpose of advancing Scientology's aims. That is what you're doing at Narconon. You're advancing the aims of Scientology. Catton alleged that the Church of Scientology uses Narconon as a way to recruit new members, an assertion both the Church of Scientology and Narconon deny. It's just amazing how many graduates become Scientologists, though. Catton also said one of the main focuses at the management level was to bring in as much revenue as possible. In 2011, Narconon Arrowhead alone brought in $10.88 million. That's just one center, guys, in revenue. You're willing to either lie to prospective clients or misrepresent who you are or take people who aren't really qualified. Anything to bring in the money to keep the facility going week after week after week. Catton claims the success rate when he was at Narconon was closer to 25%. 25%. Narconon stands by its 75% statistic. Of course they do. They're going to say whatever they want. It's all based on deception. Everything from the success rate to their counseling certifications, to their general requirements of what it takes to be a staff member, to their connection to the Church of Scientology, every single one of those things is deceptively portrayed in the general public versus what really goes on. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Behind closed doors. Catton said as president of Narconon Arrowhead, he helped Narconon take advantage of the loopholes in Oklahoma state law to avoid any kind of meaningful regulation by the state. The state, unfortunately, has not done their job, he said. The Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services said Narconon Arrowhead currently certified to provide non-medical detoxification services and that an investigation is ongoing into the deaths of Stacey Murphy, Hillary Holton, and Gabriel Graves. All of whom died inside the facility within a 9-month period between 2011 and 2012. I'm just going to take a moment of silence for these 3 people who were trying to turn their life around and ended up there. Catton stepped down as president in 2004 because he said he was tiring of the contradictory orders he was getting from the Church of Scientology, a nonprofit affiliated with the church called ABLE, Association for Better Living and Education, guys, and Narconon International. He continued to work at the facility in other capacities until 2006, when he began working as a contractor selling Narconon to relatives of drug addicts from around the country who were looking for help on the internets. I had a series of websites that were non-branded generic websites for people to look for drug treatment and rehab help. Here comes the big scam. Catton said he referred to most of those who could afford to Narconon. The rest he referred elsewhere. He said he would earn a commission, a 10% commission, or roughly $3,000 on each new patient he sent to Narconon, but he would never disclose to the families his financial connection to the program. He said he made up to $200,000 annually in commission. Catton said he started to question Narconon and Scientology after he began to look into unfavorable reports about the church online around 2010. He said when he started to question church authorities, he was excommunicated in 2011. So he got declared in 2011. Tenorio stopped working for Narconon in 2010 after tiring of what he called fraud and poor management. Leaving Narconon essentially ended his connection with the church. Both men say they are ashamed of their involvement with Narconon and Scientology. 1 second, guys. And I'm back. Okay. It's definitely embarrassing. I don't go around telling people that I meet that. Yeah, I used to be in a cult. Catton echoed him, saying, to think I'd fallen for such a scam and sold it to others, it's not something I wish on anybody else. Catton said, distancing him. Oh, no, Nora. Sorry. Distancing himself from the church has been a process over the past 3 years. As part of that process, he wrote a book called Have You Told All? Inside My Time with Narconon and Scientology, which he self-published this year. I felt it was the only way I could actually get past all this was to be able to help tell my side of the story. It needed to be done. I wouldn't be able to let it go consciously otherwise. The families of the 3 deceased are all suing Narconon Arrowhead for negligence and wrongful death. Narconon has denied, no, Nora, wrongdoing. Here we go. And any of deaths at the facility. In the days leading up to the publication of this article, people wrote emails to NBC News saying either their lives or the lives of the loved one were saved by Narconon. In statements to NBC News, Narconon and Church of Scientology officials said only a very small percentage of patients joined Scientology. In an email to NBC News, Narconon Arrowhead CEO Gary Smith said approximately 25% of his staff are Scientologists. Narconon's chief concern is to salvage people from the ravages of drug addiction. Nothing in the procedures puts money before helping the person who is suffering. In statements, both the Church of Scientology and Narconon said that Catton and Tenorio benefited from Narconon's treatment. Narconon Arrowhead CEO provided a statement from Catton thanking the program for saving his life. A success story. Oh, roll out the success stories, guys. He also said that it was from 2011. He also said Catton is connected to individuals who have been engaged in a public anti-Scientology campaign for years. He found SPs, guys. The Church of Scientology provided a video statement made by Tenorio in 2008 and Catton in 2009, thanking Narconon for turning their lives around. Yeah, you're all required. Everybody's required to fucking make promos, guys. That means nothing. It means nothing. Guys, if you went through my folders and read every single success story I ever wrote about Scientology, that shit would be wild, guys. It would be wild because I was always saying how great everything was. Of course you are. You have to. You have to. Give me a break. It's a hostage situation. Guys, I gotta bring my desk up, but I don't want you guys to see the whole camera wobble. 1 second. Ta-da! Okay, I'm upright. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So let's finish this article, guys. Sorry. My chair was getting uncomfy, so I need to stand. I'm standing. Here we go. Let's get back to the article here. Doing the Narconon program is what got me to where I am right now. Tenorio said on camera in 2008, testimonial given to the Church of Scientology. Catton's 2009 video testimonial given to the Church of Scientology said, there's not a more comprehensive rehabilitation program available than Narconon. Guys, you have to say all these things. Has no one seen a hostage video where they're holding a little newspaper and they're like, I am fine. Everything is good. Please just send the money. And they're going to keep giving me massages. Like, give me a break. These are hostage videos that are used to blackmail people and dead agent them later. Like, ugh. Why would I incriminate myself, right? Catton said his sole reason for speaking out is to help save lives in the future. Why would I incriminate myself? Why would I give up my certifications? Why would I do all these things? It's purely so that the truth can come out, so that people can stop hurting, so that people can stop dying, and so that there can be full transparency. Okay, I've never seen this video. I mean, I can try and find it, see what that looks like if we have, let's see here. Let's go to the tubes. And yes, Reese is still live. She's talking about the situation with her and Tommy. Her main message was that yesterday she said some things that made it appear that she was physically unsafe, and that was not the case. And so she wanted to clarify that she was physically safe and not unsafe, as she said many times in yesterday's video, which was confusing for me. But That's her clarification. So we're going to leave it at that. Let's see. So Rock Center, Narconon. Okay, here we go. Which one's longer? This is 12 minutes. Okay, we'll go with this one. Let's see what's up.
Struggle with drug and alcohol addiction, and over the last 40 years, many thousands of them have turned to a rehab program called Narconon. It offers a path to recovery based on the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard.
A path to recovery, Brian, you should be ashamed.
The founder of Scientology. The church received a lot of attention earlier this summer when Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes announced their divorce.
So these deaths, guys, were right on the tail of Tom and Katie breaking up, which is like the worst thing that ever happened to Scientology since Tom and Nicole broke up. Jesus.
After what you're about to see, Narconon is likely to be in the spotlight itself because of a recent string of patient deaths. Harry Smith has been investigating trouble in treatment.
Stacey Dawn Murphy was the...
So that's Stacey Murphy. She was very young.
The apple of her father's eye. The beautiful 20-year-old former cheerleader.
She was 20. 20, guys.
Dreamed of becoming a veterinary assistant. But Stacey died this summer, a life cut short under mysterious circumstances.
This is a smile, the cheerful, bubbly appearance that you would see her whole life.
Stacey.
So she fell into drugs. We're going to find out about that. And then we're going to see what happened there at the end.
His father, Robert, and stepmother, Susan, say Stacey had struggled with an addiction to Oxycontin. But Stacey wanted to be drug-free.
Narconon, the most
Narconon.
effective drug
So she checked into a drug rehabilitation center she found online. It's called Narconon Arrowhead, and it's located in a remote area of Oklahoma.
See, they're right there on this beautiful lake. It's a huge facility. I believe it used to be a different denomination church at one time. Yeah.
We are the authorities on getting people off drugs. We are the authorities on the mind. We are the
Famous Scientologists like Tom Cruise and Kirstie Alley have touted.
I mean, Kirstie Alley was the second biggest Scientologist they could bring up at the time. R.I.P. to Kirstie, who's now dead.
Narconon's value.
a kiss and a Hawaiian lei.
A crew from Extra captured John Travolta
and John and Kelly opened a Narconon in Hawaii.
Kelly Preston hosting a fundraiser for Narconon's Hawaii facility in 2007. Narconon claims 62 treatment centers around the world, including 19 in the U.S.
Compared to other rehabs, we're the best.
We're the best at doing nothing and charging you money.
Oklahoma's Narconon Arrowhead is the worldwide flagship facility for Narconon. The Murphys say they didn't know about the link between Narconon and Scientology.
I got online and wanted to know about what is Narconon, and it looked like, wow, this is a professional place.
Yeah, they have very slick videos made by Mitch Brisker to, con people. It's propaganda. Scientology is the best at propagandizing their nonsense. Okay. They took what the tiny mustache man in Germany did with his propaganda films to create, a fervor, to create a desire for his philosophy and all this other stuff. And they just applied it to themselves.
This looks good.
You're thinking this might be the answer.
Oh, yeah, because they tout such high success rate.
A remarkable success rate of 75%.
Guys, we know this is not true. And as someone who's doing drug rehab, you would think that they would have to put factual information out, to the public. No.
Narconon's method of rehabilitation is unorthodox. Patients are...
No, it's a fucking scam. Be correct. Do not sugarcoat this. It's not unorthodox. It is, pseudoscience gobbledygook.
Called Students, and they study a series of 8 books based on the writings of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard.
She says, they got us doing this weirdest stuff, Daddy. She says, we have to sit in front of another student and yell at them and curse at them. And
that's called TR0 bull bait. Yeah. 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 She was doing TRs. That's part of the Narconon program.
Say awful things about them, and they're not allowed to react in any aspect whatsoever. And I says, honey, all I can say is they're professionals here.
How much did it cost to put Stacy in there?
Well over $30,000.
So he thought, well, they're professionals. Whatever they're telling you to do, you know, just do that, because if it's going to get you off the drugs, baby girl, you know. Yeah.
$30,000.
Yes.
I can't even believe it. It works.
Narconon advertises itself as a non-medical rehabilitation program. Its unconventional methods include 5 hours a day in a sauna for 30 straight days and megadose.
30 days, guys, minimum. 30 a month. It's 150 hours of being in that sauna with the mega doses of niacin.
Doses of the vitamin niacin.
Drug residues.
Hubbard claimed the program will rid a body of the toxic residue of drugs. He believed any drug is essentially a poison, and even medicines create a barrier to spiritual well-being.
Even medicines, guys, even medicines create a barrier to spiritual well-being. Okay, currently I am taking Augmentin. That is a medicine. They will tell you that it's an antibiotic. They will tell you that you are going to, those antibiotics stay in the fatty cells of your skin. I must have, maybe that's why I'm so fat right now. I've taken so many antibiotics, guys. But they tell you that you're going to sweat out the antibiotics. You're going to sweat out anesthesia.
Well-being. The detox is part of a larger system of life skills training that many Narconon graduates told us have helped them lead drug-free lives. 6 weeks into Stacy Murphy's stay, she went home for a one-day visit.
Okay, so she was 6 weeks in, and she goes on a break to go home.
According to Narconon clients interviewed by the local sheriff's department, upon her return, Stacy used drugs she had smuggled back into the facility. The sheriff's report says she was put in a withdrawal unit.
So she went out, she got some contraband, she brought it in, she did the drugs, and they put her in the withdrawal unit now, because now she had to like start all over, right? Because she had done the drugs again. Okay.
Where she was left unsupervised for several hours. By the time a staff member looked in on her, she was dead.
That's their story.
Murphy said he frantically called the Narconon Arrowhead CEO, Gary Smith, for an explanation.
I said, did the physician look at her? And he says, no, he was not here at the time.
No, because he wasn't there at the time, because they only call the physician in when a new person is starting. There is no physician on call at any Narconon facility.
Did the nurse look at her and observe her and stay with her? And again, he said, well, we're looking into that. We're investigating this.
No is the answer. No.
But Stacy Murphy isn't the first person to die at Narconon's Arrowhead facility here in Oklahoma. In fact, she's the third person to die here in less than a year. Family members of the deceased are mystified that law enforcement and regulatory agencies haven't done more to investigate. Hillary Holton was just 21 years old.
Again, super young. Okay, 21.
When she died in her Narconon dorm room in April. The cause of death has not yet been determined. Gabriel Graves was the father of two beautiful girls. The 32-year-old was found dead in his bed at Narconon last October.
It seems like
So again, two more people, undisclosed, undetermined death. Okay, no supervision.
was just yesterday.
Gabe's mother and stepfather, Shirley Ann and Emmett Gillum, say they want answers from Narconon too.
I felt like they were leading me to believe he overdosed, and I was devastated.
But the autopsy report showed only trace amounts of morphine in Gabe's system, and the cause of death remains a mystery.
So where did he get morphine from? And he only had trace amounts. Right? Was he on the Purif? Was he overdosing on niacin? Was he not detoxing properly? Remember when we went over before what a proper medical detox looks like? None of that is done at a Narconon. They do not do medical detox. Okay? They do not do IV fluids. If someone is determined, right, to be a severe case, like they are going to sometimes on few occasions, a person has been sent to an outside facility to do a proper medical detox. Okay. But that's very rare because they think that they can handle any person who's detoxing from anything because they have the solution, and they don't want them to go to a medical detox facility because then they get examined by who? A psychiatrist. Uh-oh, hot dog. You told your feelings to an evil psych. Now you are banished from help. No help for you. Like, what? True. Listen, part of the path to recovery for anything, okay, is this quote unquote relapse. Okay, that is part of mental health healing. That is part of drug addiction healing, alcohol addiction healing. When you are recovering from anything, it is not a linear line. It does not go like, I want help, I'm done. No, it's like fucking like this. That's what recovery looks like. Okay, it is all over the place. So, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy being cheesy. You know, as Cheeto would say. Let's get back to this here, guys.
It needs some type of monitoring. I mean, what the heck's going on?
The Gillums say Gabe spoke to them about a drug rehabilitation center that was anything but drug-free, a place Gabe said drugs were used by some as barter for sex.
Oh, interesting. So at the drug rehab place, they were trading contraband for sexy times. Interesting. I'm going to give you guys a true story. Narconon true story. So I have a biological sister and I have two step sibs that I grew up with my pop Harry. They were younger than me. Like my life is weird. Like my mom and dad got divorced when I was 8. My mom married my stepfather Harry, who raised me from the time I was 10 on. My biological father passed when I was 19. When my mom married Harry, he came with a lot of kids, not just 2. With his first wife after World War II, because he was 1 year older than my grandpa, he had 7 kids in 5 years with no twins. So tip of the cap to that woman who is still with us, Carla. Then he had a second wife who he had 2 kids with. My brother and my sister. We grew up together. They're my brother and sister. And yeah, so we spent every other weekend with them, you know, growing up in Sonoma and all these other places. And my brother and sister moved to SoCal we were living in NorCal. They moved to SoCal around the same time my dad did. And so they would come up for like summer and Christmas break and stuff. And around, I want to say, freshman or sophomore year in high school for my little brother, because he was 5 years younger than me. Yeah. He fell in with some, like a bad crowd. And by that time I was already in the Sea Org. And he got into drugs. And his mom kicked him out of her house. My parents were already living in SoCal at that time. They'd moved. And he went to live with my mom and Harry. And my mom wasn't working for Narconon at that time. But of course, as a good Scientologist, she knew all about it. So she showed my dad the promo video, and he took my brother in a car. He said, "We're going on a road trip, pack your stuff." And halfway to Santa Cruz, to that location for Narconon, he told him, "I'm dropping you off at the Narconon." And my brother had a freak out. He wasn't a Scientologist, you know, and neither was my stepdad. And, you know, he enrolled him. He paid for it out of his savings, 30 grand. And he basically told my brother, I don't want you picking between the top and bottom bunk in a correctional facility for the rest of your life, because the final straw was, and the reason why his mom kicked him out was he was an idiot. It was a teenage idiot. He was at Taco Bell with a bunch of his friends, and he was high, really, really high. And his friends noticed that there was like a grip of cops outside, but he did not. So all his friends were like, "Oh, hey, can you hold this stuff for me?" And he was like, "Oh, sure." Because he was wearing, like, you know, at the time, you know, Janko jeans were big. So he just put all this drug paraphernalia into his Janko jean pockets. And the cops, as soon as they came out, started like harassing them. And, you know, he got searched. They found a bunch of marijuana on him at the time, which was not legal. And he's a teenager. And he was arrested, right? And so it was, you know, a bad scenario. It was a bad scenario. So they dropped him off at Narconon. Now, the reason why I bring up this story is that my brother told me the same thing. He said he did more drugs at Narconon while he was there than he had done when he was, you know, out on the street. He had more access to them, right? But he successfully completed the program. He stuck to it. He's never done drugs since, you know, and voila, he became a Scientologist, which is why we don't talk anymore. Because he's married to a woman whose parents own a mission in Northern California, and I'm a big bad SP, so we don't talk. The last time I saw him was at our dad's funeral, and that's the last time I said anything to him. It was a few years ago. So I just want to corroborate this story because it's true. I would say that probably every Narconon is filled with drugs. Now, I can't speak to other drug rehabs. I'm sure that people try to hide drugs, bring drugs in, because that's the nature of being an addict of anything, right? Is that you must have it. But yeah, this is a story that goes, you know, deep. It goes deep, and it's not surprising that you know, happened. I'm catching up on the chat here. Yeah, that is very sad. Oh, now what? That's very sad. I mean, Narconon makes the drug addiction crisis in our country worse because they pretend to be help when they are actually harm. Let's go back to this rock center.
He said that it was one of the easiest places he's ever been to get drugs if you want them. He said there were drugs offered for exchange of physical favors.
So the people at Narconon.
His mom is trying to be so polite. He's dead, and she's still trying to like make it sound better. It was drugs for sex.
Offer drugs to the patients in exchange for sex.
Female patients is what he told me.
So he's saying that if you want some drugs. What just happened? Why did that happen, Nora? Guys, why can't my stuff just stay the way it's supposed to? I don't know why everything keeps breaking. It's very frustrating for me. I don't understand it. I'm going to fix it. But like, can you just stay? I'm going to lock it now. I don't know why it wasn't locked. So the male staffers were giving away a Los Druggis in exchange for the sexy times to female patients, which is gross. It's absolutely gross. There we go. Somehow I'm still not shocked.
A former client and a former employee both told us similar stories, but Narconon Arrowhead denies the allegations. We learned the only doctor affiliated with the facility does not work there full time.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
A nurse was found guilty of Medicaid fraud.
Oh, good.
And other staff members have criminal records as well.
And then, guys, just as a note, they have criminal records because they were drug addicts who had stolen shit to get their drugs. Then they did Narconon and were like, oh, would you like to become a counselor? Here's a fake certificate. Here you go. Boom.
Did you feel like they were completely forthcoming with you on the phone in terms of who they were, what their procedures were?
No. Number one.
Why does he look so shocked? Why? How did you not do any homework here, Harry?
One said, I do not want my son indoctrinated into Scientology here.
She was directly, this lady's an SP.
And I mean it. And we don't do that.
We don't do that. Are you crazy?
They said we don't do
They
that.
said, no, we do not do that at all. When I talked to Gabe about it, he said, oh, that's their whole thing.
Yeah. Why didn't you pull your son from this facility, ma'am? I'm sorry.
Trying to get us to be Scientologists.
Really?
That's what Gabe said to me.
The Church of Scientology has supported Narconon since its inception, but officials from Narconon insist it is a non-religious program.
Yes, I am tired of being tired. I am tired of being tired. But Scientology is what's made me tired.
And they say they don't use it to recruit new members for Scientology. Narconon Arrowhead is not the only facility with trouble.
Correct. Correct.
Narconon's largest rehab center in North America, Three Rivers in Quebec, Canada, was shut down in April because it failed to meet new health and safety standards. The health minister said there was no medical supervision and the center posed a risk for the patients.
Thank you, Canada. Thank you, Canada, for shutting that shit down.
The scam begins.
David Love has a history of health and drug problems. He completed Narconon's program at Three Rivers in 2009.
David Love is very controversial. I'm just going to say that.
At the time, he seemed sold.
This place and these books really saved my life.
Love says
everybody says the same thing.
He quickly went from student to staff member.
Oh, they offered me a job before I even finished the program. They start grooming patients before they even finish.
Grooming. Grooming, guys. Grooming the patients.
Well, what did the training entail?
I had to listen to 12 one-hour tapes of L. Ron Hubbard.
So nothing about drugs?
Oh.
No, nothing about drugs. Just L. Ron, L. Ron, L. Ron.
No, nothing. You never talk about that ever.
Nothing about how to respond to a medical emergency?
No.
No. They don't even require you to be CPR trained, guys.
Never.
A drug overdose?
No, never.
Was there anybody above you who had medical training?
No, the people above me were members of the Church of Scientology from Montreal.
See? Yeah. Yeah.
Addiction is a disease requiring medical attention.
Boom! Facts. Facts, facts, facts.
Susan Foster of Columbia University's National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse says a non-medical approach to drug rehabilitation can be dangerous.
What would be the baseline for minimal treatment?
Someone trained in addiction medicine or addiction psychiatry.
Thank you. Medicine and psychiatry. Medicine and psychiatry.
Managing the care.
But Narconon supporters like Dr. David Root, who has a workplace health practice, says Narconon's holistic approach can and does work.
It's not holistic. That is an insult to holistic practitioners, as far as I'm concerned.
In my experience, the Narconon Hubbard detoxification program.
He wasn't supposed to say that part out loud. The Narconon Hubbard detoxification program. Yeah, not supposed to put those two in the same sentence.
Is the most effective program for getting students, drug abusers, off of their drugs.
Students, not patients, students.
And it works.
No, it does not.
Still, the number of recent deaths at the Narconon Arrowhead facility in Oklahoma is alarming.
3 people have died there in 9 months. When you hear something like that, do alarms go off?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Why aren't alarms going off for you?
You're supposed to go there to recover, not to die.
Mic drop.
Love says he left Narconon because he concluded the 75% success rate that Narconon advertises is bogus.
As a graduate officer, I was the person to determine what the success rate was.
So he had to put out the info. Charlie, lie down, baby girl. I love you. I love you. Lie down. It's not time for that yet. Lie down. I'm okay. I'm okay, baby girl. You're a good girl. Where's your bone? Go get your bone. Charlie's trying to get my attention. Yeah. So the graduate officer is the person who keeps the statistic of the percentage of people graduating, right? And that means the percentage of people who enroll in the program and then successfully complete it, right? So he's the person who is keeping that statistic, okay?
I contacted all 720 patients, and I got the results back in about 3 days, and I said, oh my God, it's only 40-something%, and when I see all the staff members that have relapsed, we're down at about 20%.
So not only had, out of the 720 people he contacted, okay, what is Siri? What is 40% of 720? Okay, so only 288 people out of the 720 have remained drug-free. And then when he calculated in the number of staff members, people working at Trois Rivières with him, that went from 40% to 25%. This was the eye-opening moment for him.
And I said, I'm not going to participate in this conspiracy to defraud the public. It's illegal. We can't do this.
Narconon International declined our request for an on-camera interview.
Of course they did. Of course they did. They're not coming on with you. Come on now.
But sent us a statement saying 3 out of 4 Narconon graduates are able to live stable, drug-free lives.
Lies.
Narconon Arrowhead CEO Gary Smith says his facility has a 90-day intensive training program for staff.
That is not true. And if it is true, it will be Justin Elron's works.
And employs licensed nurses and certified drug counselors.
Yeah, on a part-time, as-needed basis.
The Church of
And as we know, the certified drug counselors are BS.
Scientology says David Love demanded money from the church in exchange for stopping what they call his, quote, anti-Scientology and anti-Narconon campaign.
Yes, he was extorting the Church of Scientology. This is very true.
A charge he denies. As for the deaths at Narconon Arrowhead, Smith says he would like to comment, but can't, due to federal privacy laws. He says, our deepest sympathies go out to those families.
Gary was also a patient.
And our prayers are with them.
There's no praying in Scientology, guys. That is also lies.
They are taking advantage of the downtrodden.
Who do they answer to?
Nobody. Nobody, sir. Nobody.
They need to answer to somebody.
For the families of Gabriel Graves and Stacy Murphy, emotions are still raw as they struggle to come to terms with the sudden loss of their children.
Do you blame Narconon for your daughter's death?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would too. That's a correct assumption there, sir.
They say they want Narconon facilities shut down so no one has to go through what they have endured.
Stacy wasn't the only one. And the way they're running now, she won't be the last one.
Very true. Very true.
God help them.
Yeah. That was, so that was 2013. Okay. This is an article. Oh, please go away. This is an article from the UK Guardian from... This is a great article. I actually want to break this down a different time, but this person, and Alex sent me some other stuff on that. So this is 4 deaths in 3 years. So there was an additional death there. Stacy Murphy. And let's see here. They actually put a law out there, Stacy's Law. And Arrowhead lost its certification, right? And they closed. That was in McAllister. They had a medical, they had their own medical detox facility that they're sending people to. Right? Yeah. Let's see here. Hillary Holton, Gabriel Graves, and then there's another one. Let's see here. So this one is about Narconon, Georgia. Okay, and this was about the fraud they were committing in Georgia that got them shut down. So it's not just deaths. We'll go into the fraud later. This is a law violation. I had these up for so long. So inside the mysterious $11 million death of a rehab patient. So this one is a death in California from Redwood Cliffs in 2015 from John Cunningham dying. Okay. And that's the thing we just watched. So the deaths have been prolific and spread out over the years here at Narconon. People are affected for the rest of their life from going to Narconon and, surviving through the purification program and doing all of that. But it is so dangerous, guys. As you can see, it can result in death. Do not enter at your own risk. Just walk away, okay? Because it is not medical. It is not, a legitimate drug rehabilitation program. Let's go to the questions and comments here and get those answered for you. Oops. Okay. Christian recovery centers bug me too. Religion has no place in recovery. I don't disagree. I think, this is, it's non-denominational. I found 22 deaths and unaliving cases due to Narconon, and I'm sure there are more. Yeah. I'm sure there are more too. Absolutely. Indigo. Narconon Keeps people from reaching out to therapists. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the first part. I'm so angry. Which are necessary to help someone combat addiction. It's not just the drug itself, it's the reason they used to cope. Yes, correct. Because it's Scientology. So they absolutely will not give you real therapy. They'd rather have you sit across from someone who's also recovering from addiction and scream at them for hours, because that's therapy. That's healing in the Scientology way. Okay. Like it's gross. Capricious Caroline, thank you for a super chat here. I need to protest Narconon. This really burns my biscuits. Yes. Let's, let me pull up Narconon centers. I'm going to put a link here and you can find your local Narconon. Please go protest. Please do. There we go. Let's go back to the comments here. Apostate Alex in the house. The former director of special affairs, London, joined Scientology after going to Narconon. He used to speak about it as a recruitment tactic, but now denies it, despite there being a video of him online saying it. Yeah, everybody tries to not put Narconon and Scientology together, but Narconon's literally here on the bridge. It's on the bridge to total freedom. Silly lady at Perth.org told me it has a 98% success rate. Yeah, they just say whatever number comes to their mind. I was watching Reese live. Sorry, I'm like, it's okay, Vernon. Please watch everybody. I pulled that one up already. I wasn't involved in this particular video, but knowing the hurdles we had to go through with the Guardian, often the fluffy language gets put in by the lawyers. Yeah. Yes. Bull baiting seems like the worst thing you could do to someone struggling with life. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Agreed. When I did my undercover at Narconon, the chick told me they don't do bull baiting. Her bum must be on fire. Yeah. No, but they're going to tell you they don't do that stuff. They're going to tell you it's because it's called something else. So no, they don't do bull baiting. They do a different thing that's called something else. I changed my account info and no longer a member. I'll figure that out later. Well, it says you're a member right here. That's why that little star's there. So fairies are real. Going cold turkey can actually kill you if you're addicted to opioids. You need to wean off them, which is not something Narconon does. Correct. A lady at Perth.org was brought in through Narconon. They claim it's not related to Scientology, but they are definitely recruit through it. I'm glad there are no longer any in Australia. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see about that. Nope. They don't list it on their website. No Australia locations. There you go. See, you guys are already going to be the first. I told you guys are going to be the first clear continent. I'm sorry I was unable to email you about a client transferred from Narconon to my treatment center in Orange County. Can I speak off camera with you as I sold the program? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, you can. The Guardian article was from February this year. Okay. That's this one. Yeah, this is an intense one because this guy like survived Narconon. It's really bad, his experience, guys. Okay, I'll email my information. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yes, I do want to know all about that. Let's go to the questions here. Do you have the address for that company? I gave you that. I hope you got that. Sorry to drop this in the chat, but wanting to know if you received my email about a resource list I can send to my congressman's legislative director. I don't know if I did, Miss Pillow. Can you send it to me again? And I will look for that. How can John Travolta open up a drug facility? He doesn't have a license for that. And my college professor had plenty of good things to say about him. Because it's Narconon. They helped raise the funds so that the building could get purchased and that the Narconon could be there. But they didn't technically open it, but he and Kelly did the fundraising for Narconon in Hawaii. Did Lisa McPherson ever do Narconon? No. Maybe I need a new computer. I better not. This is a brand new MacBook Pro. I better not. Are the Narconon counselors all Scientologists, or are they a mix of Scientos and non-Scientos who've graduated? More like that, but the non-Scientos who graduated eventually do become Scientologists for the most part. Yeah. But none of them are like officially trained drug counselors. Do you know Narconon is in Mexico as well? Yes. Again, here is, I'm going to pull up the website. So let's all look here together. I'm going to take you off here, Vernon. So this is their worldwide, okay, in the United States, Arrowhead, Ojai, Suncoast, Colorado, and Louisiana, Mexico. Where is that? Zitecuaro, Toluca, Zitecuaro. Yep. Okay. Tuxpan, San Clemente, and Colonia Tepeyac. I'm murdering those names. I'm so sorry. Santorcito in Colombia, Helsinki in Denmark, Africa. They're down to one there, which is in Manaharad. Wow. Guys, this is okay. I'm not even going to try the Egypt one. I don't know what that says. It's beautiful. I can't read it. Okay, so in Italy, we've got Osnaggio, Pesario, Roma, Fabrino, Lefe, Torre del Orso, and Villafranca di Asti. Okay, that's a lot. They still got a lot in Italy. Macedonia, they've got one. I can't read that. That's Greek. Spain in Los Molinos, Madrid. Acacia del Guardia in Sweden. Eslov. And in the UK, they still have the Heathheld in East Sussex, right outside of St. Hill. In the Ukraine, they've got one. I can't read any of that. I don't know where that is in the Ukraine. Another one in Egypt. Turkey has one. Nepal. My mom helped open that one in Kathmandu. Taiwan and Japan. Okay. That's all the locations there. I put that in there for you guys. Yeah. Do any children go to Narconon? I don't think so. Well, I take that back. My brother was a kid. So yeah, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Did David Love turn on Scientology? Quick Google sort is, yeah, he did. Like I said, he's controversial, David Love. Yeah. Isn't addiction genetic? Science is showing that it can be passed down genetically, but that's still very new. And I think the predilection to addiction can be. I mean, my dad was an alcoholic. My mom was a drug addict of many things. I am neither of those things. I would probably say like my vices for sure have been sugar throughout the years and caffeine, which are both drugs. But I've never done hard drugs. And I have like one drink a year, if that. So yeah. But I would say there's definitely, we're learning a lot about genetics and science and things. So it wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me. Have Stacy's parents sued Narconon? I believe they did, but I'd have to look at that further. I don't know. All right, guys. Let me pull up the chat here, the chitty chats, just to see if there's anything I missed. Okay. I was given methadone as a painkiller. It messed me up so badly that I weaned myself off by 1 dose a week. I was down to 2 by the time I saw the doc again. Still had horrible withdrawal. Yeah. You filmed a tour in Narconon in UK and they keep taking it down. That's crazy. That is crazy. Like Scientology, are they copyright striking you or are they just getting the video taken down? Yeah, that's crazy. Georgia does so many stupid things. I'm pleased to hear that the Narconon facility was closed there. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Okay, so the two closest Narconons to you in Chesapeake, Virginia are Frankenmuth, Michigan, and Clearwater. Okay, well, that's kind of far. Okay, Alex, that article was 9 months of work with a journalist. I'm still working with them on follow-ups. That's amazing. Keep at it, my friend. Keep at it. Epigenetics can play a part as well. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they privacy struck it. Maybe just edit it and like blur out the faces or something. You know, make it something that looks different than just that, you know, like play with it a little bit, you know, see if that helps. All right, guys, tomorrow we're going to talk some more Narconon and we're going to see what's going on with this hurricane. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, guys. And of course, on Thursday, we've got the Jane Doe versus David Miscavige and Gavin Potter. So let's not forget that. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. And last question here from Vernon. Is there a Narconon in Oregon? No. But there is a Scientology school known as Delphi. There you go, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to my mods. And I will see you all on the Flippity Dippity. Thank you so much to the mods, to the members, and everybody who tuned in today. Click that link. Find me everywhere. We'll chat. It's fun. Or send me some money. I need it.